Welcome everybody to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact. He's right here on the TNI Network. This is Trent along with my co-host Jaybone, Bill, and Alicia. This is the Impact on Access TV review for December 15th, 2020.
Hey, Impact Wrestling. It's great to be here tonight.
Yes, it is, Tony. Time.
It's great.
My God, these we're gonna talk about those. Alicia already nodded her head. I got my thoughts on that. Done with Alicia. Talk about that for sure. Everybody, what's happening, guys? We just went off the air with Impact. Everybody, what's up? Jaybone, let's start with you because you have this very loud Jerry Garcia / superstar Billy Graham headband going on. What's going on here, man?
Oh, it's temporary though. There's something in the air tonight.
I don't know if I want to know. Bill, what's happening with you?
Oh, it's a good day, man. We're approaching all the holidays, near the end of the year. And what an end of the year we're getting here. Impact, TNI, it's a wild ride.
A lot going on. Alicia, do you have your Christmas shopping done yet? Are you good to go? Are you wrapped and ready, or have you not started? Like me, I haven't started anything yet.
I do all my Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve.
Yes. I am on that team. I am on Team Christmas Eve. Because I work good under pressure. Everything's closing at like 5 o'clock, and you're like, you got to get this shit done by 5 o'clock today, or you're fucked. Or you're giving people like Tupperware for Christmas. That's what I do. I'm with that. Bill,
I give people high fives.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a free high five. Bill, how about you? You get your Christmas shopping done?
Every year. Zero right now.
Shopimpact.com getting like 5 orders drop ship.
Well, that would be for me. I guess. But there will be it'll all get done. It always gets done.
Nice.
It's part of the fun. The last minute craze.
Cool.
The rush.
I have an Advent book that Mrs. Jaybone made for me. I've been opening up. I'm on day what's the 10th? Today's day 10. I got to open box number 10. It's a 12 days of Christmas Advent book. Thanks to Jaybone. Jaybone, for those who missed it, Jaybone and I had a nice brunch over at Cracker Barrel on Saturday.
That was a lot of fun. That was great catching up with you in person. It's been about a year.
It was a year. It was a year since we've seen each other, and it was a lot of fun for Jaybone. He ordered the lobster. Like I told you on Sunday, they don't even have lobster. But he said, "Trent, since you're paying, I'll take the lobster." The lady argued with him for 10 minutes. How they don't have lobster. He's like, "Look, he's going to give you a couple of bucks. Go run across the street and get him a lobster." We got into a huge fight. Jaybone, never again. By the way, I'm never buying.
I ended up getting the imitation lobster, and they did this mold lobster thing. I think they spray painted it. I ate it. It was all right.
And the grits. Let's not even get into the story about how Jaybone was trying to figure out what the grits are. I'm not even gonna. You know what? If you guys want to know that story, go watch Sunday's show, and you can see the embarrassment that Jaybone has about grits and how he wants his steak cooked. Jaybone, I'm never going out with you again. That's the last time we go out to eat. It's embarrassing for me. All right, let's get some comments. Who's in the chat here, guys? What's going on, everybody? What's up? Who's in here? Jay, give me some comments, Jay. There we go. Swag fan. Yeah, start calling them. Ingrid's here, ready to just fucking roast me today. I can't wait. That's eventually coming. Season's beatings for sure. But no, listen, we had a really exciting episode of Impact. This is the last original episode. There's Bill, what did they say? 2 weeks of best ofs now?
Two weeks of holiday specials, which they said were best of 2020. Okay. So yeah, we don't know, but although they did say there'll be awards given out, so I have a feeling there'll be some original content, at least award, kind of doing that. I remember they've done that. I remember them taping some of these snippets in front of live audiences I've been in the past. So there's probably a Josh Madison overlaying stuff, but I'm hoping we get maybe some of those social media backstage segments intertwined maybe over the next 2 weeks. Because maybe some more paid advertisements from your favorite person, Tony Khan.
Oh God. Well, we played at the top of the show. It'll be played again at some point, I'm sure. But did you guys catch this? One thing to keep in mind, Alicia, I don't know if you caught this. They said January is Knockouts month.
Yes.
I think is it for Impact Plus only? Was that what they're saying? Was it just on Impact Plus or just in general? It's Knockouts month.
I didn't catch that, but that's awesome. Every month is knockout month, but
I think it's a tie-in to the tag team tournament being finalized in January.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're doing a lot of stuff revolving around how special the knockouts are all throughout January, different specials. Oh, there we go. Kevin Martin and it says there will be still some original content during the next 2 weeks, not just old matches. So yeah, and I'm sure they're going to throw some original content on the old Impact Plus. So I know some people have had some problems with subs on Impact Plus, but the content is still going to keep rolling in there, and I can't wait to see what they put on there. We might even talk about it on here. We'll see what happens.
Or we're still going to do some shows. We got a couple things lined up. I think next week we'll lock it in. We'll put the official timeout closer to next week's show, but we're going to do the big family Christmas gathering with all the TNI folks on one show. Since next week is kind of just like a best of type of show. We'll get Bison and Joe on, and we'll start a little earlier, be online, just start broadcasting out while the show starts and everything, and we'll just maybe co-stream it after that or something like that. So we'll figure it out, but look for next week to be like the big thing where everybody's on at one time. Even Kyle the Scumbag could even join for a few minutes, so we'll see. But that'll be next week, and then the week following, we'll get some things lined up as well, just to fill in the time, be hanging around. And we'll go from there. All right, let's kick it off today, though. Today's we got the news to start off, right, Jaybone? All the news for us?
Oh, there is some news.
All right, let's kick this off. Jaybone's news.
Jiminy Christmas.
And now, Jaybone's news. He's threatening us with a good time, and he's got a lot of news. I really don't know what he's going to say. I don't think he knows what he's going to say. Anyway, he's got that stupid look on his face, so it's going to be funny. Take it away, Jaybone.
Searching for my fake wrestling news.
God damn it, Jaybone. God damn you.
It's back, baby.
This is your news? This is the news? Is this what you hyped this up for?
Jaybone, the turncoat, the TNI, we're supporting the old BC, baby. The Bullet Club is back.
You too. Look at this. What is this? Alicia, they're like Judas priesting us right now. This is big. What the hell's happening here? What the hell's? All right, get on with it.
We've stepped into a time warp.
Yeah, seriously. All Kenny Omega talked about today was 2012 this, 2012 that. What year you guys living in right now? What's going on here?
It's 2020.
Well. Hey, when you're in it for life.
Give me that. By the way, that upset me. That's as an NWO guy. Okay, that pissed me off today. But anyway, go on. Go on.
All right, so we've got some formations of the cards of the upcoming specials and pay-per-views coming up over the course of the next month. Let's see here. The first Impact Wrestling of the year, January. Where do I got it written down here? Here we go. January 5th. We got Callahan and Edwards going head to head. They might be putting the end to this feud that's lasted almost 2 years.
It's a long feud for sure. It is long.
It's gone back and forth. We also have one of the huge matches for Genesis, an I Quit match between Moose and Willie Mack. Can't wait for that one, folks.
January 9th. Did you say 5th? 9th is Genesis.
No. The Impact Wrestling is the first Impact of the new year.
Yeah, that's like a lot in one fucking stretch. You got a new episode, Genesis, another episode, Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
Jesus
So they're gonna be doing a lot of stuff social media wise over the course of the next several weeks. Promos, setting up feuds, and look, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see how it unravels. We'll be covering it all. We might even get a little breaking news in there once in a while. We'll see what happens.
Unbelievable.
John Burton.
We just started the show. You've already threatened me with a horrible time, Jaybone.
But this is the big news right here.
What do we got?
Oh crap! Where did that?
What did you do? What did you do, Jay? You messed this up already?
I lost it. No, it's right there. It is. I don't know why it switched.
You got one responsibility on this show is to do the news. You can't be botching the news, Jay. Look.
No, it's here. I don't know why it switched. All right, so we've got the main event Saturday, January 16th. Hard to Kill pay-per-view. We got Rich Swann, the world champ of Impact Wrestling, and the they want those tag team champions. They're not tag team champions yet. The Motor City Machine Guns going against AEW's world champ Kenny Omega and the Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers, the reformation of the OG Bullet Club, and they're calling it the Bullet Club. They're not dancing around it. That's very interesting here.
New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Did they say Bullet Club on TV? Okay. I don't know if I missed that. I didn't hear them say it.
They said Bullet Club.
I know they said Biz Cliz, but which is like
Kenny said it. Kenny said it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Oh yeah. So they're this is huge, folks. I can't wait for this. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is a mega match happening here. And I'm sure we're going to get more. It's just we don't know what and how much. But I will take this for now. This is huge. This is going to get me through the holidays. I'm very excited about this. I hope the rest of you are too.
This is going to get him through the holidays, Alicia. This, not the loving family, the children, the wife, the beautiful pets, the love from his TNI family. No, the announcement of Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers.
I'm following the RV. Wherever the RV is, that's where I'll be January 16th.
This is it. This is what you guys have become at this point. This is what's going to get you through the holidays. I'm looking. I decorated my damn tree. I'm looking forward to a nice holiday, and I got Jaybone telling me this. What's going on with you guys?
I'm going to be throwing a bunch of 2 sweets on my tree next week.
Unreal, unbelievable. No, listen, that graphic is dope. I like the artwork. Put it that way. Like the artwork is super cool. But it pops. It does pop. The match announcement is nuts. Just from on the surface level, right? Like it's crazy to see that happening. Pretty much, that's just Mondo Bizarro world that he's actually going to be on a pay-per-view. Hard to Kill it. Last year was a memorable show. It's becoming that one this year. It's already set up to be one this year. So we're already in a very interesting 2021. So listen, it'd be really cool if there could have been fans for it, but they didn't announce. They didn't officially say it was Nashville. You know what I mean?
They did not.
I'm just wondering, is there it could be down south. Who knows? Are people waiting to see how this vaccine plays out? Maybe you have some people in the audience. A lot of ways it's going.
I'm keeping my calendar open, Trent.
I know. I'm sure, Bill. I'm sure it was open last Hard to Kill. That's why don't even have to tell me that. But we'll see, guys. That's a big one. How do you guys in the chat feel about that? I want everybody to sound off because there's a real split audience online. There's a split in our little family here too.
I'll show you one more split before we get out of this news segment. Do share screen.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you how big this is when you see the other EVP from Impact Wrestling reacting
to
Tony Khan and
Tony. It's on Twitter. I think we can listen to this.
We can play it on Twitter. If it's on Twitter, we're okay to play it.
I didn't do the audio. I apologize, but he's.
Well,
buying time on Impact Access TV might be the first wise investment Tony Khan has made in the wrestling business. Keep it coming, kid. Love the fist tucked under the biceps look.
Wow.
And then, and that's not it. A little reply here from the other owner. Yeah, you look great, buddy. Here's a different look for you, holding up the championship belt of a real network and a real pay-per-view, AEW, AET, Double or Nothing. So it's going back and forth here, and I love it.
Can we just address
Impact Wrestling? It's great to be here tonight.
It is great to be here tonight. But can we address the picture that he decided to throw up there as his insult? Was with a belt that wasn't even complete?
What? Wait,
this was like the freaking demo belt, the prototype belt before they put the gold on there.
It was the undone TNT belt, yeah.
And this is what you're showing me, Tony? Big guns, Tony?
Shots fired? Is this already shot? I guess this is. I'm gonna go. You know what, Bill?
It's gonna get heavier. You can let it go right now.
You get a single bullet on that one.
All these lessons he's going to teach us.
So many, man. So many are coming right now.
Bill's fired up, guys.
Bill's fired up tonight. He's I don't know if he's actually happy or I don't know what Bill's feeling right now. He's smiling.
Giddy.
There's different things. The ending. I was on highs and lows. If you were on the co-stream, which a lot of you are, Truck gave away 10 subs. Thanks
10
everyone
subs.
for joining us.
Thank you for the sub.
Truck, thank you very much.
Yes, yeah.
Well, all 10 were claimed.
Shivani came on. Shivani, he got me going. But then Kenny saved the day.
Jesus.
And the Good Brothers.
Yeah, one night, and then I quit the business for 18 years.
Yeah, quit now, Tony.
Yeah, I'm about to bury him for another 18 years.
We'll get there. I want you to wait. I'm gonna pitch to you right away when that comes up. And I want you to just fire it off. And we're gonna clip this and we're gonna put it online. I'm gonna tag Tony Schiavone. I'm gonna say, shots fired, old man. Here you go now.
Yeah, take this 605 and shove it up your ass.
He's fired up. He is fired up today, guys. Beautiful. I can't wait.
I'm trying to be polite here, you know.
No, you're not, Bill. Not at all. But all right, let's start. Jaybone, there was one more piece of news I want to add. Jake Christ, former X Division and Tag Team Champion, announced he's a free agent today and emerged with a brand new look. Alicia, did you see this? He has a fresh look today too. The heartbreaking thing about this is that they couldn't find anything for Jake Christ at this time. Seeing as how his wife, his best friend are both in Impact. He's a victim of some real bad timing. I don't know if there's probably more to it. We don't know. But man, I love Jake Christ. I thought it was a hard pill to swallow. If you were watching on Twitch, the highlight, one of the flashbacks was Homecoming. And it was like, Jake Christ goes up. I'm like, oh, come on. This is like salt in the open wound right now, man.
Yeah.
Showing Jake. There it is.
It's still a highlight, from his X Division career. He was a champ for several days. I know there's another tweet of his that said he was, tag team champ, X Division champ. Yeah. Look, it's another company would be crazy not to scoop him up. And I'm not going to name companies. You guys know everybody's hiring, everybody's open for business. I think I can speak for all of us would say we were all happy with what he has accomplished in Impact Wrestling while he was here with us. And thank you, Jake, for all you've done. It's been a pleasure to last since 2017. We came in with your brother and then stormed everyone with Sami Callihan with OVE.
Daniel Spencer shots fired.
Yeah, no, Daniel Spencer fired a big shot just now, by the way, in the chat. Anyway, no, Jake Christ. No, we thank him. I like the new look too, by the way. The new look's dope. He looks cool.
Well, it will fit in because he's also taking bookings, independent bookings, with Madman Fulton as a tag team.
I saw that.
So that kind of fits, like that new hairstyle look with Madman Fulton. Interesting.
It does.
We'll get into it later, but maybe even a future fit because maybe it's not goodbye, but see you later with Jake Christ. Because man, would he fit into us?
Oh shit, dude! Are they calling it? Is it officially called us?
I'm gonna call it us.
I like it. Bill's I'm not even gonna cross your path today, man. You are fucking fired up tonight. Bill is not having it, Alicia. I'm gonna stay out of his way and maybe everybody's way tonight. All right, let's kick it off, guys. Let's get started over here. We start the show with Tenille Dashwood with Caleb with a K. He kicked it off. He was in the ring, announced Alicia. I'm sorry, Tenille. And she took on Alicia, Alisha Edwards, who came out with Eddie Edwards, and kind of playing off of this ongoing almost a month of story with these two. It was all right. I mean, I think I got to say this. Tenille has always been a point of contention in our chat amongst us. But I feel this ever since Caleb came into the mix, it's been more. It's translated more to everybody, and you guys in the chat sound off on this too because it's always been mixed on Tenille, but no, this was. I mean, it was cool because both the whole Wrestle House thing for Alicia helped her grow as a character. There's been a lot of growth with these two. I just don't know how much more mileage you're gonna get out of it, but Tenille does win on this one. She doesn't get the win. Does this send Alicia back down? What do we do with Alicia at this point? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think Alicia is going to end up assisting Eddie in his roundabout battle with Sami Callihan.
Yes, because Sami did after a good lead into this. The music plays, the ICU graphic hits. Sami on the Eddie's like, come on, Eddie, or come on, Sami, where you at? Sami comes up on the screen, tells him the story's far from over. He's like, I love that they were really pitching the whole take a few weeks off. have a good Christmas, because it's like we're off for 2 weeks. It's like, take a couple weeks. I'll see you in January, and basically, and I'll.
But if you're gonna quote him, you got to sound like him. Take a couple weeks off.
Take a few weeks off. Have a Merry Christmas. Bob for a few apples, and I'll see you in January or something. Whatever he said to him, I don't know what the fuck he was saying to him, but he told him to come back in next year, and we'll pick this up where we left off. So
apples.
I don't know. I want apples for candy apples. Maybe I meant pumpkin. I don't know, man. First thing I thought of apples.
You go bobbing for apples around Halloween, there, Trent.
What's wrong with apples? Anytime you can have an apple.
You don't bob for them. You can have them.
I mean, it was something Sandy would say. So why don't you go bob for a couple apples and see? I'll see you in fucking. Yeah, okay, truck. I bob for apples in my house. That's what we do at Christmas. We bob for fucking apples. Right? What I'm going to say.
Not going to judge. Why don't you roll that beautiful bean footage too?
Bean footage. Got it. You were going to say something, Alicia? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, I'm good. I wasn't going to say anything.
So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I do like that. This, to me personally, Bill, you were there for a lot of these in person. This has become Dreamer Raven of Impact to me, is what this is. The never dying feud, right?
Go-to feud. At some point, I'm waiting for the team up. They will team at some point because this has to happen, but then you break up again. So this is a standard bearer now at the company. As long as these two guys are in Impact, you can always go to this. And you should go to this once a year.
It's kind of like, because I loved when, like, in ECW, when Raven came back and then he, like, the reluctant tag team and they became champions. And it's like, I fucking hate you, but we're a good team. And you have those glimpses of, like, you're still my partner. Like, it's brilliant. I could see that happening with these two, like the I hate you so much, but I respect you for what you are kind of thing. You can easily get another year out of this feud. Not that I particularly want to go here, because I really want to see Sammy creep back into main event status. But it's just a feud that'll never die, but it always stays fresh. That's the key. That's the key to a good feud like this. So we go from that, guys, to Josh and Madison talking about just setting up that Kenny is still there. He's now the timeline here. What am I Jaybone? You're good on these little details. Are we supposed to believe? Now, there's some people are like, has he been sitting out there for a week? And they're like, nobody's really put this together. But so he's there on Tuesday in the bus, and he drives to Jacksonville. Then apparently he drove back and has been there since he was there from Thursday to Saturday for final resolution. Right, Jay?
The real question, and yes. Bill can attest to this, because the real question came up in the chat on the watch along.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, Bill?
What'd you guys come up with?
Truck came up with a very interesting question, and I gotta
yes.
throw it out here.
Yes,
it has nothing to do with anything, but it's freaking hilarious.
It has to do because tomorrow Don will be on the press pass, and We Talk Impact will be on the press pass, and he suggested a question for Don Callis.
Oh, well,
Jaybone, if you will.
Well, Truck said the biggest question here is, why does the bus smell like sex?
Wait, what? What? That's the best you guys came up with? That was like a lead. That was a lead up for like.
This is Truck, so I thought it was funny, so I had to repeat it.
Truck, I'm not putting that over. Absolutely not. That was such a build up for a horrible payoff. I expected so much better for that. But Truck did gift a lot of subs today, so maybe I'll put it over.
And there were some good responses to that after it was said. People got into it.
It was colorful. We won't spread the whole thing. Unless
you guys are going with the Super Trooper reference, when he opens the van or the truck and the guy's like, "Why does it smell like man sex in here?" That if you're going with that reference, that's one thing. But otherwise, no. No. So the timeline is, so he's been driving back and forth on the palatial $1.5 million bus. Isn't that what I think that was a number put out there?
Yes, it was put out there.
It's a nice fucking bus. All right, so then we go from that. Where we at here? So they run down the card. Karl Anderson, the opponent of Chris Sabin tonight, and he was, they were ready to get their 3-step list going. So far they've done everything that they were going to do. So now they're on step 3. They want Anderson and Doc Gallows as tag team championship. So they basically built up that whole thing with the main event later on tonight. So Sabin and Shelley were just fired up to talk about this. And so we go back to the bus after that. Omega and Don Callis fire up Karl Anderson for his match after this. So is it weird? Or are they like taking these weird, like, I mean, obviously they're teaming up, but like they always take like these weird like jabs at Karl Anderson just to like piss him off a little bit.
Yeah.
Am I missing, right? Like that's the idea. Like we're just gonna provoke him, piss him off.
Yeah.
So
Manipulation, bro.
yeah, pretty much.
It's getting in their heads.
They're doing that, so they get him all fired up. He's pissed off. The interesting thing though, and I'm gonna tie this back later on. So it's Anderson's been without Gallows for like what is it, 3 weeks right now at this point? 4. And but Gallows does show up at the end, so it's kind of weird, like where that whole thing. Like, why was he gone? I don't know. We'll talk about the end though, I guess.
Well, Ethan Page took him out.
That's right, took him out. But where was he this whole time? Just chilling. But we get back to the ring. The self-proclaimed TNA World Champion Moose coming out. He is happy to inform everybody that he's put Willie Mack back on the injury list. He warns everybody this championship reign will be forever. It'll always be superior to Rich Swann's. Willie's music hits, and then Willie issues a message to Moose that he's going to face him in an I Quit match at Genesis on Saturday, June 9th. So
Wearing
Moose,
a Loca hoodie.
Was he wearing a Loca hoodie? Okay, I didn't get that. And Moose is all unhinged, and then he's taking his frustrations out of the security guards, and then he's trying to chase after Willie and on Willie. So the little melee ensues. But what I loved about this was how authentic Willie came off. Like, Alicia, I don't know about you. Like, I love, like, Willie just seemed, that's how people talk when they're pissed off to me. That's just like, he just seemed like he wasn't reading a script. That's the best part of it.
Willie is the most realistic to me, I feel like.
Yeah. Like, he just comes off like that's how people would talk if they're pissed off and not, like, trying to remember lines or some shit, right, Bill? Like,
right.
Moose is 100. Willie's 100%. He's the real deal. You don't mess around, Willie.
I loved it, man. It just seemed authentic to me. Like, he really felt like I believed what he was saying. Like, if you get lost in a moment, I just believed what he was saying. I'm like, cool. I want to see this match now. So it sold me.
He keeps it simple. He doesn't drag it out for 15 minutes. Like, really? Did we need all that? No, it's short, sweet, came down. This is what I think. Challenge, boom.
And that's a fight. That's what a fight's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like, like some big drawn out, like when I sit home at night and I think about what you did to me and I wonder when I'm going to extract my revenge. Like, what the fuck are you talking? He's really just like, I'm going to kick your ass. I didn't quit. Fuck you. I'm not quitting. The hell with this shit. Like, I want to whoop your ass right now. Like, it's just how people talk. I love that about him. So, are we still in the chat too? I want you guys to sound off on this. Are we still digging narrative Moose? How we feel about this? Let me go with Jaybone first. I haven't started with Jaybone. Are we still digging narrative Moose?
I like it. It's a different, like I said before, it's a different chapter. He's more focused, but he's got to get through certain people to get what he wants still. But he's still up here. I still think he's still a top contender, no matter what imaginary title he's holding. Please don't tell him I said that.
We're telling.
It's interesting though, because we all were guessing. And we'll go this way, Bill. We were all guessing like Hard to Kill would be Moose and Swann. That was kind of like the early prediction that they were.
That was an early prediction, but I got Slammiversary, maybe Rebellion, but it's. I feel like that's getting pushed. It feels like it's been pushed a long time. The Moose, ever since Aries, really the last real Moose world title viability, I would say. And I think this is. I'm not sure where the TNA title storyline's going, because it's not going to be here, obviously, at Hard to Kill. Could it be at Rebellion after that? Maybe. Because I think as long as we're in pandemic times, I think that could mean this storyline with AEW goes further and further. So maybe it stretches out farther than we all think. Because it's a one-off. Take wrestling news.
Well, here, yeah. It's a one-off appearance. Alicia, before I get your opinion, I just want to put this up real quick. This is an interesting take from just 108.5. Moose may be the biggest loser of the AEW partnership. The initial thought a lot of people have had has been this: like, did he get bumped? Did like the Moose story? I mean, Hard to Kill, right? It seemed like they were leading this right to Hard to Kill. Does that Moose aspect get bumped and in favor of this now? I don't know. Alicia, give me your thought on that.
That's quite a possibility. I mean, it seems to have fallen by the wayside.
He's not like involved in this whatsoever, like at all, right? Am I missing something? Like Moose is not in this anywhere.
Kind of in a distant way, he is, because he does mention, like, he has mentioned Rich Swann and stuff like that. But as far as like as much as interaction and progression in that direction, I'm not really sure.
True. Yeah, it's a little weird. Like, it's weird. He really isn't directly, but you're right. Maybe indirectly.
In my ass.
Jesus, that's so awkward. But no, indirect.
I can totally see him getting involved somehow between Genesis and Hard to Kill, like making it more prominent. He may even do a run-in at Hard to Kill in the main event and screw Rich Swann, because there's no titles on the line at Hard to Kill. It's just a big, super crossover main event between two companies, some old brands coming back. So it's and then it'll overshadow it a little bit, but the culmination will come out in the end. In the long run, throughout all this, is going to end up being Moose versus Swann.
Wait,
so he's keeping his presence known. Swann knows he's gunning for him.
Did you change headbands like mid-show?
Bro, Jaybone, listen to me. Man to man. Bro, you got the Brian Alvarez thing going on. What's going on over there with the headbands, bro? What's going on there with the thing? Jaybone, talk to me.
You change headbands like mid-show. Even Russo noticed this.
It was the news segment. I came back, with the Bullet Club, and I went, it went from hippie bone to BC bone.
Wait, did you did a full wardrobe change during the jingle? The Jaybone news jingle?
And it wasn't a 15-minute intro.
Unbelievable.
Amazing.
Super bone.
Jesus. Yikes.
I have the runs.
Sorry, Jaybone.
Best response for that, Jiminy Chris.
That's the best I can do right now. But GM Miller catches up with Moose afterwards. He's Scoops. He is sick and tired of independent wrestlers like Willie thinking they deserve title shots. He's sick of the security guards that he said anybody gets in his way, he's gonna take him out.
Oh, he throws it right at them. He goes kayfabe, daddy. He goes, those security guards are independent wrestlers.
Yeah.
I like that.
Which was a nice little shot at those guys, It was a nice
I've been
little...
giving those guys. I know Ingrid was getting on me for giving that some black shirt security crap. Not doing a good job again.
You know what happened with that, Bill? You started that war 2 weeks ago with the security guard. I prolonged it, and then Ingrid just tore me apart for just bad-mouthing the kid who was too busy worrying about his hair, and he was trying to break up the fight between Alisha Edwards and Sami Callihan. But I digress. Chris Bey, check it out. The first headband lasts longer than Trent's. My God, Jay, but what are you encouraging here? Look at this. Unbelievable.
I had nothing to do with that.
Chris Bey checks on Rohit Raju after his unsuccessful retention at Final Resolution. Kind of rubbing it in. Bey has an idea there's the ice cream man again.
The ice cream man.
11:11 East Coast time. Make a wish.
Make a wish, everybody. It's 11:11 on the East Coast time. No, but Bey's kind of antagonizing Rohit, right? He thinks he should unmask the new champion to reveal it's TJ. Show the world it's TJ. But he's like, look, I got a match against him tonight. Why don't you be in my corner? We should join forces and take this guy down. So we're going back to this partnership from pre-rebellion time. But this is what led to Rohit winning the title. Was him turning? Well, hold on a second.
Turned on. Yeah, I got to remember that.
He turned on. Side note, Mrs. Jaybone's shots fired at her husband in the chat here. Don't get ready that fast.
So you got the nurse in the chat. You got Mrs. Jaybone in the chat.
Awesome.
Just torching you today, Jaybone. Torching. The missus is in here torching you today. Single bullet.
I think the fiance needs to get in this chat, Alicia.
You ever get the fiance in here?
I'll message him, see what he's up to.
Jump in here. Mrs. Jaybone, single shot. All right, very nice. So they're going back to this, right? So Bill, they're going back to pre-X Division run. So they're going back to like the March time frame, almost March, April.
Yes, yeah, you're going back there when Willie Mack was champion, and then obviously Chris Bey, and then he went after the title there. So we're going in the early stages of the no fan tapings, but this is to see this much finesse, this quick, like in a short amount of time. The way Rohit got finessed, the TNI curse may be real, because he was the champ with us a week ago today, and he just got finessed. He got his trunks finessed off tonight.
It's terrible. He comes on the show last week. So you guys missed it. He was on the show last week. He was still X Division champion. It was his last public appearance as X Division champion. Was last Tuesday on our show. Then Saturday he lost it, and that was it. So the TNI curse, as people have dubbed it, it remains, unfortunately.
Bring me fresh meat.
I don't know if that works anymore. The challenge is done, but here's the thing: the Rohit and Bey partnership last year, earlier this year, was fun. It just didn't get enough time because they basically just set it up to Rohit to get the belt. So it went kind of fast. If you kind of go back to that, it could be fun again to see them having a good time. So it could be cool. We'll see what happens with this. But and even if it leads to some matches, those guys have good chemistry, so we'll see where it goes. Anyway, go from that to another Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone paid commercial. Jaybone, can you do me a favor? Pull this up on Twitter, please. And this is probably the most controversial moment of the show. So it's another paid ad from Tony and Tony Khan. Tony and Tony. What's that?
Seemed like that 2003 appearance almost.
It was very okay. So this is very shooty, guys. We're gonna talk about this. Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, Tony Schiavone, legendary announcer, who's the head announcer at AEW, right? So very controversial. Like they did the paid commercial last week. They did another one. This week was very declaring of a war. It seemed like to me. Hey, look who's here! The fiance's here. Devin, you have to throw in some kind of like embarrassing thing or an insult or something it won't get you in trouble. That's what you're gonna have to do. Something where you're not gonna feel it afterwards.
Don't tell Melissa Santos to turn her vibration of her phone off.
That's right. Don't do that. Yeah.
Timeout, Preppy.
Timeout.
He got in a timeout for telling Melissa Santos to turn her phone vibrate off. Anyway, Stephen, feel free to throw anything in there. But Jaybone, you got that pulled up where we can play it for everybody? All right, let's go. Let's throw that up here. This is probably the moment that's got everybody upset. There's a lot of people talking about this.
All right,
even Kevin Martin's upset about this. Go ahead.
It's great to be on cable access TV. Following this program, you will see the latest city council meeting. And now the owner of AEW, Tony Khan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Schiavone. It's great to be here on Impact Wrestling, helping to fund your program via this paid ad. You get a lot of nice things here on Impact Wrestling. One of those things is you get to see the AEW World Champion, Kenny Omega. I'm going to let you keep seeing Kenny. I'm not going to slap an injunction on him because I think Kenny Omega is one of the two best wrestlers in the world, along with John Moxley, who stole the championship from. I think there's nobody better than Kenny Omega to go around and show the image of AEW. I just wish he hadn't won the title the way he did. Don Callis, you came to my show. You taught me a lesson. You taught me nothing, Don. We did our biggest rating of the year. I got one of the greatest champions in the world, and he's out doing free press for us that I'm not paying for. I'm happy to pay for these ads, though, Don, and I'm going to teach you a thing or two about the wrestling business. I'm going to see Kenny tomorrow. You're welcome to come with him if you want, and then I'll start teaching you your lessons.
Lesson number one would be where to watch Access. I don't even know where to find it. If you ask your to put on Access, it says, dude, why? All right, we'll be on TNT tomorrow night with AEW Dynamite Live, 8 o'clock, 7 Central. Here's the lineup. Hangman Adam Page team.
That's enough. That's enough. Take that out.
Cut his mic.
Cut his goddamn.
It's all again, Tony. It's all again.
Delete all that right now. But okay, I want to talk about this for a little bit. That was okay. So there's shots fired, for sure. People really took this very hard. Alicia at the beginning of the show was upset about it, and in our chat too. So Alicia, I want you to give your thoughts on this. And I want everybody in the chat, I want you guys to really sound off on this, and we're going to throw some comments up here. What do you think about this? What are you feeling?
Annoyed, and he's a fucking nerd.
Whoa! All right, that's fine. Holy shit. What's got you hesitating about this?
I don't like the digs. I mean, I get it, especially with the angle that they're playing. I totally get it, but it's just I feel like there could be much more creative ways to go about it than being like, we're paying your fucking bills. Like,
I didn't like the insult on the channel, because that was a thing ever since they left Spike. Right, was a whole thing about they're not a shitty channel. Look at Destination America was small pop.
I can't find it.
Yeah, and like Pursuit, right? Of course, Pursuit was a whole ordeal. But when Access came around, the whole point of it was, the whole thing about Access was everybody was at least happy that Access is a great channel. And to take digs at Access, I thought was like, oh man, come on, like this is a solid channel. But I get it. Like you said, the angle they're playing, Alicia, I get what they're doing. But Bill's fired up. I want to hear from Bill. Bill's also very fired up today. He was waiting for this to happen. So Bill, he's angry. He's not smiling, Jaybone. I'm going to just put myself on mute and let Bill have the floor here. Bill, this is for you. This bud's for you, man.
All right. Tony Schiavone.
He gave me that all right. This guy's like, all right, listen.
Tony Schiavone talking about TV networks. Let's just say back in your heyday. Wait, let me just take the time machine back to the early and mid 80s. When you were something, Tony Schiavone. Oh. But then 6:05 on TBS, the superstation that you had to be freaking below the Mason-Dixon line to get. So it wasn't anywhere. It didn't have the coverage of Access TV. Schiavone. Freaking tool. All right, let's get into Mr. Biceps over there, Tony Khan.
Mr. Biceps. Holy shit.
Let's just. I'd love to see that footage again of him at Gorilla. Tony at Gorilla, the joke that is. This guy, the first time he saw Gorilla, he probably tripped.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Tool number 2. Now,
Alicia's died. She's on mute. She's laughing so hard at this right now. Go ahead. Keep going, Bill. Keep going. Shoot.
I digress.
Yeah.
Just keep giving the money to Access TV, because all you're doing, you're helping the ratings. Say what you want. Be the heels. That's fine. Honestly, I'm thinking maybe this winds up with a AEW TV show, because TNT still hasn't pulled the trigger on this second show.
Well,
so maybe it winds up on Access TV. Maybe that's where you're winding up, Con.
Look at this. Can we Bill, is there any more? Because I'm giving you the machine gun of the night, right? The machine gun's happening right now. He's not. That is absolutely the machine gun moment of the night. But do you want? Okay, Bill. You know what? I'm gonna give you a choice. I'm not gonna give you the new machine. You want the classic?
I need the
gun.
new machine gun.
New machine gun. New machine gun.
Yeah, new machine gun.
You gotta love the awkward cut. All right, I want to spend just another minute on this. Let's go to the chat here. Jay, we got any good comments? Just throw a bunch of comments. I really was the channel thing is weird to me, but I get that they're setting something up. But the thing is, like, I only feel awkward about it because you reinforce like the typical Markish hate of like, yeah, that's right, they are on Access. Access sucks. And it's like you're leading them to water at that point, you know, and it's like, it doesn't suck. It's a very solid station that's only keeps growing. It's like, why feed that? Like, maybe you be a little more creative with it. Try something else to insult them on, you know, insult them with the wrestling aspect, not the business side. That's what I didn't like that. Like, insult the wrestling. Like, yeah, Rich Swan's your champion. He's no match for Kenny Omega. You know, it's something like that where you're comparing the quality of the product rather than like who had more money to go where kind of thing. You know, that's my only thing about it. Jay, I don't know if you got Jay, you watch both shows, so you have an interesting perspective on this. I want you to give me your thoughts.
It certainly works up the fans talking. We're talking about it right now. And that's what it's meant to do. Mm-hmm. It's also meant to put forth the whole, brand versus brand thing. And it just, it puts it, it's not just, Omega, Swan, Bullet Club, Motor City Machine Guns. Oh, no, Now the heads of the company, Tony Khan's over here, Scott D'Amore's over here, Don Callis is in the middle, crafting he's the invisible hand working his own little thing down here.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony says the Tony times two. You got Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone, Mr. Schiavone. So yeah, there's all these little aspects of it. I like it all. I'm not gonna get, because all it is it's actually throwing the trolls under the bus. That's how I look at it, because that's all the trolls do. Oh no, I can't find my Access TV. Can you tell me what channel is it? It's making fun of them. That's all it's doing, in my opinion.
All right, interesting. Listen, it's interesting takes, and the chat is blowing up with a bunch of takes on it. So we got some. This is already causing a lot of talk, which is good. Which is what you want. You want a lot of talk. I'm not gonna say you don't want people talking. That's one thing you definitely want to have, is people buzzing about this. But we'll see where it goes. It's a weird one to end the year on. That was the last one, unless I'm gonna put this out there. Yeah, 2 more shows that are gonna air, unless you have 2 more of these to air out, and But I still say this. You got to have a trade-off here. Like, we have to have something where Swan shows up tomorrow, or next week, whatever it is. But we have to see some payoff here. It can't just be Callis. It's like, you keep coming to our house. Like, I go to your house now. It's like, I can't come here and talk shit, show up, interfere, run into Skyway without having a little bit of a receipt. So that's my only thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of payoff, because tomorrow's show is live, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, it's live.
As far
tomorrow's
as
live.
Tomorrow's Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect time to pay this off. You've had a week or a week plus minus whatever of this hype now of brand v brand, and now you got a brand new show. You're coming off the heat of this huge main event. Who's on the press pass tomorrow? Don Callis is on the press pass tomorrow. He may reveal even more about this feud. Watch for something to happen on Dynamite. It would be ridiculous if something didn't at least get commented on or gets escalated, because that's all there's going to be. I don't know what Dynamite's doing the next 2 weeks after tomorrow. So
tape show and a live show.
Okay, so you'd be foolish not to escalate it in some sort of way. Plus, there's going to be a lot of social media exposure. That's how a lot of this is going to get built, because we only got the main event in Hard to Kill, and we got one of the biggest matches on Genesis. That's all we have for the 2 big events coming up in January. It's going to be a lot of social media build.
Yeah, I need either Don Callis. I mean, not Don. I need the coach. I need Coach D'Amore to do a paid advertisement or show up down there tomorrow. That's what
something's got to happen. You can't leave it like this. You have to.
It can't be nothing like last week was. So last Wednesday, it can't be just not addressed. I like that everything's happening on the Impact show. That's fantastic. But there needs to be some give with letting the AEW watcher know what's going on, more than just the Kenny angle and Don.
Yes. I agree, man. And to me, the natural thing for me is Swan to show up, get in the ring, and just go.
That son of a bitch
showed up on my show, and I'm so no. Let's see what happens with it. I'm curious. I'm optimistically curious about where it could go. But speaking of the press pass, Bill will be representing us tomorrow on the press pass. Bill, you're still good for that, correct?
I am still good for that.
Bill will
and
be
I will
there.
Not be asking any questions about the bus.
Yeah, no bus questions. But Bill will be representing TNI on the press pass, which is going to air on all their platforms to catch that. And usually, I think they like us, so they'll be getting hopefully get a question in. But I imagine tomorrow's press pass is going to be buzzing. So be ready with a good question, Bill. Let's get in there for sure.
Yeah, hopefully we don't get a whole bunch of new fake wrestling news down south. Dominating the show.
What happened before, was a lot of we saw a lot of good ones, a lot of Impact ones, but then I can only imagine you get the ones who never wanted to show up at a press pass before, all of a sudden they're here now. So hopefully we get through tomorrow, but we'll see. But yeah, check it out, guys. It's going to be airing on all their platforms tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe 3 Eastern.
We go to part 1 of 2 of the Eric Young and Cody Deaner in the jail segments. This is Eric kind of call it brainwashing, Alicia. I don't know what you call this. Is this like his deprogramming of Cody Deaner in a sense?
I guess this was wild.
This is my segment of the night. I love whole thing was my favorite stuff.
It was 3 parts.
Was it 3? Okay, I thought it was just
3. Yeah, but they spread them out and it really took up a good chunk of the show in a big way. Just how it was presented. You know, a little bit here, a little bit at the middle, a little bit in the last hour. It was good.
The first one was a setup. He said he's going to baptize Cody Deaner towards this new sense of change. So it's interesting. So if anybody knows the scene that they're at, this is the jail that they filmed the Bound for Glory hype commercial at.
Well,
back to that jail. So Kevin Martin in the chat, Impact Production. And I don't know if you can give this away, but did you guys go back to that jail recently and film on? Because this is very interesting, man. Like, I can't imagine it was done back then, but this is interesting to see that they're using this again, and it's playing into Eric Young, where he told us a month ago, 2 months ago now almost. So that's what I like about it. Like, if it's a callback to this jail where he deprogrammed himself and he's coming back, so that could be kind of cool. So yeah, we'll see. So that's part one. So we go to the match. TJP, which is Manik, taking on Chris Bey with Rohit in his corner. This match has happened as TJP and Chris Bey. The only one thing, now Mark pointed this out to me today. Mark and I were texting back and forth. Uncle Mark, who's done the show with us a bunch of times. It's kind of weird to see Bey go from world title to X Division like within 3 days. So does anybody else feel weird about that? Jaybone, we go with you, and we'll go this way. Like, does it play into it?
It's it keeps Rohit involved, and it also keeps Chris Bey in a title contention. It may be another title, it may be a secondary title to the World Championship, but it still keeps him on top. It keeps him in the scene. It's not, he lost to Swan and we didn't see him until January. No, this is a great way to keep him involved. And it was, it certainly is. It's not a knock on him at all, even though he lost his World Championship shot. He's right back in the mix. And he also turned on Rohit in the process. I mean, there was such a big swerve in all this because it looked like they were in cahoots. It looked like what we were all talking about this whole time, like, all they got to do is unmask Manik, right? That's all they got to do. So it's like, here we go. This is where it happens. No, we didn't get that at all.
No, we didn't. I don't know. It was just, to me, like Mark pointed that out. I was like, yeah, it's kind of interesting that he's going right back to the X Division. Not that it's a bad thing. It's more like we just saw him in the world title shot, and it's like you were putting him here. It's like, where are we playing with Bey now? I don't know, Bill. Let me go with you now.
I think you got to go with the connection with Rohit. It's not really the X Division title. I think it's more the Rohit angle they had the past on, because that's what this was. This was the ultimate finesser at his best. He took him. Remember, he screwed Bey to get that title.
He did.
He screwed him bad. And Rohit, I know he likes the fresh meat, but he was a sucker tonight. And he fell for the ultimate finesser. And it was glorious to watch Chris Bey in action on this Tuesday. And he just took him to school tonight. Gets him disqualified. Rohit getting in there for the unmasking. That was never a goal here of our good buddy Chris Bey. He just wanted him to get the DQ to advance himself against Manik going forward, and he did. Because now, all right, maybe you're right, like he's a world title X Division, but let's remember here, there's a big push. We saw the Ultimate X match. Rohit never did option C.
No, he didn't.
If Chris Bey gets the X Division title back, does he cash in option C?
Go right back
in the near future.
That could happen.
Long-term storytelling.
That could happen because the X title is kind of floating with these three, right, Alicia? It's like just between. Nobody else is in this mix right now, is it? It's just these guys. So that's interesting. Okay, that's a good take, Bill. I like that.
So in a sense, Hard to Kill should be a three-way because now Bey has his shot and Rohit has his rematch.
True.
Or is Bey going to get his shot at Genesis? I don't know. It's hard to. We got to see how it plays out. But they're all in the mix now.
I'm trying to be polite here. You know, I'm trying to be polite, but
he was trying to be politer. But we'll see where it goes. I would imagine a 3-way is there somewhere at some point. That's what's going to happen. But yeah,
I wouldn't call an unmasking polite though, Trent.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, well, in his mind, it was polite.
We have to make mention that a lot of people in the watch along were calling him TJ Pentagon.
TJ Pentagon with same colors. Is that why?
Yeah.
I do like the new
and the mask. Yeah,
I do like the new look. I like the painted face. He is doing the Pentagon thing where he paints the mouth area, so I can see that. But the new looks cool. You know, I mean, it is a cool. It's cooler than the blue mask. I think I like this one a lot better. It's a little darker. And they're not hiding that it's TJP. That's the one thing. Like they're not acting like it's not him. You know,
right?
So
someone else got those identical sleeves tattoos.
Yeah. But Bey gets the win by disqualification because Rohit gets involved and taunts Manik with the low blow, and then he hits Bey to give him the DQ, so to give him the DQ victory. So that was it. So Bey gets the win. He's kind of finessed Rohit into this. We get a little recap. The flashback on Twitch was Sting's Final Resolution 06 return. So anybody watched that? Backstage, Josh Alexander's pacing. Ethan Page says he's been looking for him everywhere. What's going on? You're my best friend. He's like, I'm sorry, man, about losing to Karl Anderson on Saturday. You know, the North can't get a tag team title shot now. I apologize. I know I messed up. And they kind of talk it out a little bit. You could tell Josh is still a little agitated by the whole thing. But then Ethan leaves. Like, I'll take care of it. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. Brian Myers enters, tells Alexander, look, it's maybe time for you to move on at this point. The North is over. It's done. Time for you to go. Get out of here. And Josh doesn't like that. He just says, maybe let's kick your ass tonight instead. How about that? So
he did want to be a tag partner first. Brian Myers was saying how great of a tag team specialist he is. Former Impact Tag Champion, and he won a tag team title in front of 82,000 people.
I did like that he mentioned that he's a former Impact Tag Team Champion because it never gets mentioned at all.
Him and Trevor Lee, man.
Him and Trevor Lee held it for a week.
A week on paper, but forever in our hearts.
That's pretty deep, bro.
Good answer.
That is a big one. But no, he definitely held. And they never talk about it. It's the first time really they're mentioning that he's a former champion, and he's mentioning it. So I like that, and I think they should clip that in at some point. Just to remind people, like, this dude's had a run. You know, he mentioned this. Some people who might not be familiar might be like, oh, shit, I know that, you know? So he does offer that. He talks about his Mania stuff and everything, but then Josh Alexander's not having it, challenges him to a match.
Match time!
Match time for sure. These little sound bites are great for when you want to get something to drink, but they come in handy. Thank you to Kyle for putting these things in here. We got a new subscriber. What are they saying here? Razor Rates. I'm a new subscriber now because the AEW timed Impact Wrestling has been rejuvenated. So this is word up, man. Thank you for joining us. This is the big thing. This is the idea, right? I mean, ultimately, not to sidebar too much, but this is the idea. The whole thing is the cross fandom. If you can do that more and more, the numbers keep going up. What's going on, Bill? What's going on?
Hold on.
You're shocked. Twitch thugs. Wait a minute. You know, Whoopsie's back in the chat. I was thinking about Whoopsie today. How he turned on us. How when Kyle's not on the show on Tuesdays, they stopped coming around. I can't believe what brought Whoopsie back out today. We thought you were dead, Whoopsie. I thought you were gone. What happened to you? You know, Whoopsie basically said Kyle's not going to be on, and he just turned.
You can take this microphone and shove it up your ass.
That's basically what Whoopsie did to us. You were one of our long-time listeners back in the old days, and he turned.
We broke bread
with Whoopsie. We've had pizza, Whoopsie. Jeez, welcome back for the week you're going to be here, Whoopsie. I'm sure you're going to leave again. I'm sure you're just going to,
Yeah, one night, and then I quit the business for 18 years.
That's what's going to happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the short list with Tony Schiavone.
Let's not do that.
I assure you that.
We go back to the bus. Kenny is mocking Rich Swann and he calls him Rich the bitch, which I was like, man, what is this, like 7th grade?
Yeah.
That's very Kenny Omega. That's very Kenny Omega.
So I don't. Okay, so tell me about this. I don't know anything. Okay, I've seen Kenny Omega matches in Japan. I've never heard him talk. This is the first, like his first promo was the first time I heard him cut a promo. I was at a live show once, and he was bad in a live setting, like after a show, and I was like, oh, maybe he's blown up after a match. But the first time I ever heard him cut a promo was last week. I didn't think he was a great promo guy. But like, is this his thing? Like, is he kind of like dweeby on promos? Because this was so juvenile. I was like, Rich the bitch. Like, this is the best we got here.
He's sassy. It is. Yeah, I guess you can call it juvenile, but yeah, it's sassy. He's
a guy like comic books and video games is juvenile.
I mean, is that the character? Or is that him? Like, is that the
cleaner?
Idea?
That's the cleaner.
Okay, so that's him. Anderson's back there too. You know, he's just like, he fires him up. He's shit talking Rich. So then Anderson leaves to go get ready. Omega's all pissed off about how Swan was acting towards Anderson earlier and says he's sorry for what he's about to do. So they're setting that up for the whole thing coming up later on. You know, whatever is going to happen, which we find out later on. So it's the agitation started here. So I mean, again, I see this and I'm like, man, there's no reason Swan should not show up tomorrow. You know, Rich has to show up tomorrow. I mean, otherwise, it's like, what are you just getting punked constantly?
Well, they can't get away from not mentioning Hard to Kill tomorrow.
You have to.
It would be neglect on their end to not mention their world champion headlining a pay-per-view. Like, they got to mention it.
So last week, did they mention
really
anything?
They really didn't.
They didn't mention anything, huh?
Just Kenny and Don cut a promo about the titles.
About the titles, okay.
Like he's chasing after world titles. You can correct me there, Jay. I did not hear much. I think JR said something about he made an impact last week. I think that was the extent.
And that's about as much as they could do because they taped that before everything happened. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So they really couldn't do much. Like, they knew it was going to happen, but it was the timing of everything because it was a taped one before everything went down.
So okay, so that one, so it wasn't live. So
that's why I mean, what's coming up with this one tomorrow? Something should absolutely happen going into the holidays.
Okay, so tomorrow is live.
Crossing my fingers.
Tomorrow's definitely live.
It is okay. Live. So we have a shot at.
I can confirm. Someone from AEW called me the other day. It's definitely live.
On the bill phone? They call
on the bill phone.
On the bill phone? Just give you a call and let you know?
They were seeing if I was making my way down there this week.
They're like, Bill, just let you know it's live.
VIP.
Yeah, it's the VIP. What do you got? We got a store style? Who's calling you? I mean, Bill, you got to
show up at a show, you get on a list. I don't know.
Hey, Impact Wrestling. It's great to be here tonight.
Is that
You're VIP, a very important bill.
VIP. Bill, you need a t-shirt. It just says VIP.
VIP.
You gotta wear that at every show from now on. Hey, what's a B for, Bill? That's me. Very important Bill. That's me. Hey. Oh, there's that front row guy. That's me. VIP. All right, so it's confirmed. So tomorrow we could see something happen. You know, tomorrow's got an opportunity for something to happen. So we'll give it. There he is. Bill, how much you missing the front row? Like Impact front row.
I am missing it. I will not lie. Luckily I've been able to make many appearances on the indies, but I did always do that. Missing the old Impact. Obviously Ingrid there and all. It's luckily I've seen some Impact talents on the indies, which is great.
Can you confirm or deny? And I'm asking for full honesty here, Bill. I'm putting it all on the line. During this time where you can't be front row at an Impact show, have you gone back on Impact Plus, $7.99 a month, by the way? Have you gone back on Impact Plus and watched old tapes, old Impact Wrestling weekly shows, and just watched yourself in the front row, reminiscing, like kind of like smiling to yourself? Like, I remember what that felt like back then. Just going back to the whole run for the last couple of years.
I can honestly say I have not done that. That's. Usually, a lot of the time, I don't notice myself on the shows.
Everybody else notices you, Bill.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm usually looking for things that I didn't catch when I saw it. So usually I'm not. The only time I really notice myself is if for some reason it's only me. If it was like some type of zoom in or something, I'm like, oh, that's me right there.
Which we have the clip of. Absolutely.
Yes, like something like that. That I would notice. But other than that, hey, it's Miguel.
Miguel, a buddy of yours in the front row. Miguel, another who is famous for his sign. I think it's
how far he traveled. Yes,
I traveled 3,000 miles for Impact Wrestling, which has been used in a lot of bumpers and promos and stuff. So Miguel's here, but no, it's I'm sure you're missing it. We're all missing it. God damn it! It would be cool if we could have gone to Hard to Kill this year.
The Impact crew.
It would be nice, man. We're gonna be going. We're gonna be once this is back. We're all gonna go at some point. But all right, Knockouts Tag Team Semifinal match: Taya and Rosemary, Team Ragnarok, unofficially Team Ragnarok, taking on Kiera and Tasha Steelz. This was one everybody I think was looking forward to. Alicia, this was probably the most anticipated semifinal or tournament match, I think, until the final comes up. And we got the winners. I think we thought were pretty much going to take this. We did a little interference, Deanna and Kimber coming down to attack Rosemary, but we had Kiera and Tasha taking the win on this. How fucking awesome is that? That's the final. We're in the finals now, right? We got the final. Is that it?
Well, we still have to see who wins between Havoc and Nevaeh and Jordan and Jazz.
Oh, that's right. Yep, Jordan Jazz. Yeah, they mentioned that today.
When that match will happen, I don't know.
Yeah,
Genesis or the first show with Sammy and Eddie kicking off the new year.
The 5th
or do we get it during one of these next 2 weeks?
Oh, like maybe
a special.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Personally, I think they should have wrapped it up today, just so we knew going into 21 what we have. They should have just wrapped it all up tonight.
Yeah.
But I imagine, Bill, I'm going to say the first Impact in 21. That's going to be the one.
That's what I would think. That's what I would think.
You get it there. Maybe you have them kind of face each other off a little bit in Genesis. Maybe run into each other, hype it up, and then you got it's happening at Hard to Kill, right? So yeah, you got a week after that to build it. So you got a little time. You still got quite a bit of time to do it. But man, I'm excited for Kiera and Tasha. These two, I think, have been our big breakouts this year. Two of our favorites that we felt like have just fucking exploded this year.
Yeah,
Alicia, right? Like we have just
agreed.
I'm excited to watch them. I'm excited to see them grow and get this opportunity to get featured out. So hey, I think we're all for it, and that's happening Hard to Kill. So we'll find out who they're going to face.
Whose uncle is this? If the 80s don't come back and get their uncle for real.
Boy, it's going to lead into something really good in just a second, by the way. But no, let's see what happens. I'm psyched to see where all that ends up. But what's cool is here, though, you've basically set up Taya and Rosemary with Deanna and Kimber at this point. So you already have your they just pivot right off of that. So they're busy over there. So that's cool. Like nobody's left without something, which I like, huh, Bill?
Yeah,
definitely. It's a good. You're right. It's a good segue because obviously, other than the knockouts, whoever becomes those champions, they're gonna have to build up the top of that division with teams that are going to be sticking around. So I think that's a good sign for all the news out there, maybe about people leaving here and there, that they're being put right into another program. That's a good sign.
Alicia, do you think do Rosemary and Taya continue to team up? Like, would you want to see them keep teaming up? Like, do we officially get Ragnarok out of this? Like, do they make it a real thing?
I mean, I feel like it should. They work really well together, and I don't foresee them kind of splitting up. I mean, they went through so much trouble to put them together.
Also, you kind of need contenders for the belts, right? Like whenever these happen. So I guess you keep them as a team because you're you want to have somebody to challenge. Otherwise, it's just going to be these same teams, which would happen before, basically, like in the old days.
Yeah, it'd be like what they're doing in the other up north, where they just break up established teams and put together hodgepodge platypus teams.
Such a great word. Is that what they do? They just break up a team. It's hey, cool, you want to be a team now? Great, let's do this. And they just
it's just constant mix and match. So it's hard to stay invested in anything because it's oh, well, they're probably not going to be a team after they have one shot at the title. And then
because that's what happened on the first run through. We had some teams and then you ran short on teams. They didn't have enough teams to challenge for the belts, and it turned into like just kind of a repeat process eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think we got it covered though, because I feel like for the past maybe 6 months or longer, we've been trying to establish teams.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, all our girls are starting to match up their gears and stuff. So I'm feeling pretty confident about it.
I like it. I'm with it. Jay, you got any thoughts on this? You excited about Kiera and Tasha? Sorry, follow. Go ahead.
I'm certainly excited about it, but we also get the whole Deanna and Kimber versus Taya and Rosemary, and I think bigger picture here is they're gonna shrink that down over somewhere in the new year, whether it's Genesis or Hard to Kill. And if you watch the social medias, you see the promos happening. I think we're gonna get Taya versus Deanna. Taya Valkyrie versus Deanna Purrazzo for the Impact Women's Championship.
There was a lot of talk about that when she first came, Deanna. They were going through social media.
Like, for reals.
That'd be cool. I'm down for Ty to get back in there. And that makes. What are you looking for, Bill? Bill's looking for merch to tie into this. What do we got here? Oh, autograph 8x10 with Ty and John E. Bravo.
Bravo.
You know, the recently recovered Bravo, by the way.
New Loca masks.
Brand new Loca mask too. Look at this. Merch. How big is this table that's in front of you?
Massive.
I imagine this is massive, like lunch table that he sits at with just merch.
Got to stay safe. Get the wrestling shows.
How many masks did you pick up, Bill? How many Loca masks?
I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4. Four masks.
I don't know whether to say congratulations or I'm sorry.
That's a lot of masks. That's a lot of masks. Bill. Very good.
Well, someday I'll have to get Johnny Bravo to get his signature on there.
Oh, there you go. That's the least he can do for us. Bravo, it's after all the shit you put us through on this show, it's the least you can do is show up at Bill's house and sign that autograph. You can't leave. So you have to stay. Bravo. Hey, how about this, Ingrid? You set this up for Bravo. How about this? We'll put this pitch out there. We talked a lot about Hard to Kill. Ingrid's got a order code for Hard to Kill on her Twitter account. So Ingrid, if you're in the chat, put your Twitter link in the chat. But Ingrid's got the pre-order link for Hard to Kill. So go to her Twitter, do that. How about this? If Bill does it right now, today, before the day's over, you have Bravo. You're ready for Bravo to drive to Bill's house and personally autograph the 8x10 and then give him a hug.
Well, you know what? I got to take a look because we talked about this a while back in the chat.
Yeah.
Because Johnny Bravo was, I believe there was an indie show in the Michigan area where he managed Rhino. I don't know if they put on any shows since then. I don't even know if they're running shows in Michigan right now. But I got to keep my eye because the here got locked back up again a little bit. So I have to open up my areas. So when who's doing shows? Indiana closed down. Jersey's still doing it, sort of. Florida's doing it.
Yeah, it's a little.
Tennessee's doing it.
Tennessee's
so maybe I could Hard to Kill weekend if I find a nice indie show with Johnny Swinger or something. I have to make a little visit.
Swinger or Bravo or both. Shit.
Or both.
You'll take any.
I think Bravo's only showed up at those Michigan shows though. So
right. Gotcha. Okay, so we go back. So we go to the part 2, Eric Young and the baptism on Diener. I love it. It's like a little mini film. So if you guys haven't seen them, they didn't release on the Twitter timeline. They weren't putting all of them out. I think they put one big super cut out at the end, like towards the end of the show tonight. So go on Twitter if you missed them on the YouTube also. But they're little movies, the whole Fight Club-ish Us thing that they're playing. So take a look at those. But they went back to that for Eric Young and Cody Diener. What do we have here? OVW is back on January 9th. Keep that in mind.
I might be there then.
January 9th, OVW. So Ohio State, Ohio Valley. We go from.
It's a same thing.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's a weekend. Okay, yeah, they're not going back to the Tuesday shows. Yeah. So maybe not that one. Maybe it'll be like a week or two. Maybe the next set of tapings after.
Yes. We go back to the locker room. Kiera and Tasha are celebrating, but they have one problem. Kiera's asking Tasha, like, yo, where's the money? Don't bullshit me. Like, where's the money? Like, she's like, I don't have it. I'm telling you, I don't have it. Little like dissension between these two, which is funny. But she's like, I'm telling you, I just don't have it. So they both kind of get frustrated. You know, they kind of accept it, leave the room. Well, before they leave, I'm sorry, Johnny Swinger walks in. You pretty much get this reaction.
Whose uncle is this? If the 80s don't come back and get their uncle for real.
He kind of just like lays down. He's like, who wants to celebrate with the swingman, daddy? And he's like, they're like, what the fuck? Like they're looking at him super disgusted.
Whose
like,
uncle is this?
Pretty much whose uncle is this is the idea. Like, he looks at him, he gives him the line, he throws his lines at him, he trying to charm him a little bit. I mean, typical swingman, Bill. He's being the typical charming swingman that he is.
Even you guys swing?
Sorry, Jay.
Got cut off by the swingman. He even brought some beer skis for the ladies.
He did. He brought some drinks. He was ready to celebrate. Nobody was having it though. But they leave. They're pissed off. He starts going through the luggage, through Tasha's luggage. Finds the fanny pack. You know, he's like, oh, like a gold fanny pack, daddy. It's time to upgrade the swingman's. Throws his out. Looks at his and he's like, oh, look at this secret compartment. And he's like looking through. You know, and he's like looking through. He's like, oh, well, look at this. And he pulls out the giant wad of cash, which is way more than $78 now. Like, what is it now?
This big.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it could be a bunch of ones with a 20 wrapped around it, but it's a lot of fucking cash. How about everybody take a guess at how much cash is in there in the chat? Jay, what's your guess? Go ahead. Sorry, Alicia.
Well, it's certainly more than 78. I'm going to guess 79.
No, that's terrible guess. Terrible guess. What did you say, Alicia? I'm sorry.
About $350.
$350. All right, Bill.
$350.
Well,
Bill, measure it in T-shirts. I'm from Shop Impact. Just how many?
Yeah,
T-shirts?
the swingman said that's a. What would he say? That's a. Did he talk about the gate? You think he's all about, or that's a? He was all about the.
He says
he's
good
all about
gate tonight.
Yeah, good gate tonight, Daddy. But it was. We'll have to ask the swingman, but I'm thinking Alicia's probably pretty good on this. I'll say it was about a little less. Let's go 280.
280.
Okay.
350, 280. I'm looking at the picture right now. I'm gonna say, man, depending on the bills that are in there, I'm gonna say that's a cool. I'm gonna overshoot both. I'm gonna say that's a cool $500 in that lot. That's a $500 payday. He said it's a good house tonight, Daddy. That's what he looks
Big Money Hustler.
Big Money Hustlers. Anybody see that movie? Big Money Hustlers. Nobody's an ICP fan in here. I swear it's
Big
like
Money Wrestlers.
Big Money Wrestlers. But no, I'm going $500. $500. Jaybone says 79. Jaybone already disqualified.
What, was that the one about magnets?
Oh my god! Cut his mic. Cut his fucking mic. You're out of here. You're out of here.
Kyle, don't play sound bites over me.
It's not Kyle. Why'd you play that soundbite, Jaybone? Terrible.
Hands up here, Daddy.
Hands up here, Daddy. So now Swinger has the cash. The storyline continues with the wad of cash. So, all right, next match. Josh Alexander and Brian Myers. This was awesome. I like this match a lot. This was exactly what I thought it would be until the end, where Myers escapes out of the double underhook DDT, kind of gets out of it out of nowhere. So Paige was there with Alexander.
Yeah, from the beginning.
Yes,
like
he kind of gets Myers takes him out, crashes, and sends him crashing. So Myers kind of working his way out of a DDT, gets out of it, and then out of nowhere, you just see like above the screen, like just rise from the fucking canvas, the Karate Man, the Ethan Page alter ego, Karate Man just comes up, and you're like, what the? I love Madison Rain here, Alicia. She was like, what the hell am I looking at here? What is this? Like, it's exactly what that's my favorite part of the whole thing. She's like, what's going on? And Josh's like, it's the Karate Man. It's his alter ego. She's like, how do you know about all this? Like, what is this?
You're right. That's funny.
For those who don't know, the Karate Man is Ethan Page's like a kind of a joke thing he's doing on the indies. Bill, have you seen it on the indies yet? Because I haven't been on any shows, obviously, this year.
The first time he did it, I did not, but I feel like I did see it. Did he bring it to the collective?
But he comes on those shows. He comes out in it. Like it's not like he.
Yes.
The story
doesn't transform into it like he did there.
That's why.
But he does sell merch. He does sell merch. You can probably get a Karate Man T-shirt.
You couldn't get a Karate Man t-shirt. Oh yeah, I wasn't sure. Does he like transform into it?
No, he comes out as it. That's his. He's not Ethan Page that day. He is the Karate Man.
Gotcha. He gets involved and it costs Josh the victory. So Josh is fucking pissed. Like Josh just had it with this shit. And then the camera shot goes off the air with him just like in full pose. At which point, my friend Rob, who made our intro for us, sent me a screenshot of like Josh's or Impact's like Instagram, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" Like, he's like, "What the hell is this?" And I'm like, "It's the Karate Man." He's like, "What? What is going on here?" So if you didn't, so those who didn't know and saw us on a national stage today, it probably takes them by storm for a second. But Myers does win. I really do hope they keep pushing Myers up a little bit. I think he needs something solid. He's been into some weird kind of disjointed stories and progress. So maybe this does it. But wait, a comment, Jay? We want to read this comment here? Go ahead.
From Elijah Washington, this makes me think since Myers won, does this mean Myers finds a tag team to face the North at Hard to Kill, or Myers gets into Josh's head to turn on Ethan Page? I think we're going to end up seeing Josh versus Ethan excuse me, let me correct myself there. Josh versus the Karate Man.
Okay.
And that's going to be the inception of, or as Rosemary would say, the bodysuit of Ethan. Meat suits. Thank you.
Meat suit.
Bodysuit. Too many
bodysuit.
Where
your head's at today, Jaybone?
It's a headband's on a little tight.
A little bit.
Meat suit version.
Go ahead. Keep talking. You're talking about bodysuits here. Take it easy.
Meat suit. I'm thinking of that.
I have seen that penis.
See, that's what I mean.
It's unraveling. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that scene with Leslie Nielsen from 2.5 Guns or whatever the hell that is.
Wait, what? Who booked this? J-Bo, you're losing me here. What are you 2.5 Guns?
Well, the Naked Gun series is like Steiner math because the third one was 33 1/3.
My God, J-Bo, you lost.
Thank you, Bill. Somebody gets it. Damn, I know I'm old, but Jiminy Christmas.
That's just something.
He's fat.
All right.
Oh jeez.
That was we need Steiner math in this sound bank. We don't have Steiner. We have a couple other stats. We need Steiner math, like clips of Steiner math.
It's a go-to.
We need Steiner math. That would never get old. All right, so we get part 3 of the Cody Deaner and Eric Young saga. This one had Joe Doring shots in it. They're in the jail. I still don't know where it leads, but I love this. Cody Deaner afterwards changed his profile photo to like the dark Cody, the baptized Cody Deaner. All of his artwork changed, and it's him stripped down essentially, and it just says change. Like,
cool.
Yeah, that's it. He's just like change is coming or just change. So I like where it's leading to something. It's just like we don't know what. Do they shave his beard off, his hair off? Who knows? But this was cool, man. It was weird. It was weird. It was different. It was, I don't know. Like I can't fully sum it up unless one of you guys has something on this because I don't know what to say, but I loved it at the same time. So I don't know if anybody's got anything on this.
Cody is baptized, aka he's born again.
Mm-hmm.
He's free of poison. He's joining the EY cult.
Which I think they're still building too. I think like they're gonna keep adding to this.
Oh, this is not done. This is absolutely not done because now on the other side of the fence we got Tommy. I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but we got Tommy Dreamer talking to AC, who's also talking to Rhino and talking to Jake. You got all this other stuff. Look at it from the outside looking in, like. What the hell's going on? Jake's losing Cody, trying to fight for his cousin. Like, hey, what the hell? What are you doing? And you got Rhino, who's pissed off because he got attacked. Heath got taken out. God knows when he's coming back. And So yeah, there's a bigger picture here. It's all setting up a big feud.
I do like that. You're right, because the next scene leads to AC pleading with Tommy to let Larry free. He's like,
That
"Oh, you
too.
wouldn't."
Sorry, yeah.
So it's like one continuous shot. He's like, "Oh, let him free." I know him since I was a kid. He wouldn't hurt anybody. And Tommy's like, "Well, he's heard that one before. I don't buy it. Whatever." Ace leaves. Dreamer sees Rhino and Jake talking about the Cody Deaner betrayal. He's like, "Look, you guys should both do something about it." What, you get scared? He goes, "I'm not scared of shit." And then I do like Rhino does this. I think he does it on purpose. Like these almost cheesy sitcom poses at the end of certain vignette promos he does, because he's like, "You guys should do something about it." And he leaves, and then Rhino kind of looks like Jake is like, And there was a 3 to 4 second camera pause, and he's like, Like you just wait, he's waiting for the end curtain. He's just this fine Broadway actor who just stops on a pose. But Rhino it makes me laugh sometimes, even when he's trying to be serious, he just comes off as funny to me. But they're setting this up. It's interesting. Like you said, Jay, you got Larry breaking off, Deaner, Heath, Eric Young, Joe, all this in the mix. It's setting up a nice something with these guys. I can even see a 4-on-4 coming up with these guys, depending on who else gets added. But he's funny. Like Ingrid said, that's how he is. He's funny. He's just he's very comedic to me in that sense. He's just got great timing with his facials and everything too. So Rhino's fucking awesome. I'm a big Rhino mark. First wrestling autograph I ever got was Rhino. You know that, Bill? Rhino was my first.
Oh, wow.
I met him at a GameStop, which used to be called Funko Land back in the day when the ECW video game came out. And he's got a really easy signature. I'm like, I could just forge all my other magazines at home when I go and get this. It's such an easy signature to fake. No,
there's no one better.
War Machine, Rhino.
True. I forgot we had that in there. Good call, Bill. No, first wrestler I ever met was Rhino. Very cool guy. But we'll see what happens. We'll see where they set this up. Well, I want to see where this goes, because the Eric Young, I guess we're going to call it us, is still building. We're still getting to something with that. We're not quite done. So we'll find out where that falls. But all right, main event. Let's go main event here, guys. Karl Anderson and Chris Sabin. Alex Shelley in Sabin's corner. This match was fucking great, actually. I mean, just strictly match point of view. It's a member from 2 legendary tag teams. I said this last week too. Anderson was not some big indie star in the U.S., right? He wasn't a big indie darling. Made more of a name for himself in Japan, which they like to point out. The 2012 G1 winner.
2012.
He's in 2012. He's a fantastic worker, though. I was very impressed with Karl Anderson. Because he's forced to do these solo shots. I'm like, man, this dude can fucking go solo. He's really good, man. Sabin, as we know, has done a bunch of solo runs, but this was awesome. I really, if you're just watching purely for a match, I love this. They did do a split screen. They're showing Omega and Callis watching it too, which was just feeding that more. But I loved it. Alicia, I don't know about you, but purely as a match, not even what happened afterwards. I thought this was cool. Give me your thought on this. Anybody in the chat too, guys, sound off on what you thought about this one.
I thought it was excellent. These two really brought it. Made a very entertaining viewing.
Just a great main event. Just if you're just strictly action based main event, this did it. Bill's got a lot of gimmick going. He's got the Sabin hoodie and the beer ski hat. The merch table, gimmicktable.com is definitely flying right now.
Yes. Angel Fire
Angelfire.com. All right, Bill, thoughts on this? Purely wrestling. Now we'll talk about what happens after, but purely as a match.
Purely wrestling, fantastic. Fan of both of these guys. Huge fan of both of these guys. But you're right. Machine Gun. If you hadn't seen them until Impact, this was really a great job to really get a feel for him. You've seen him in tag matches, but to see him work with Sabin, who's fantastic. Former world champion, multiple time tag champion, X Division champion. He's done it all. And he has not lost a beat, as we just saw an explosion. Had the 3 ACL tears and doesn't wear anything. He doesn't have any. He's just letting it all go, and that's why he hasn't lost a step. And he's fantastic. So this did not disappoint. Definitely main event worthy. And no, this this is just leading in to why. I know Ingrid went back. That someone's not a fan of the machine guns. If you're a wrestling fan, I don't know how you're not a fan of the machine guns.
I am curious. I see this guy in the chat. I want to pull this out real quick. Will, why do you not like the machine guns? I'm really curious because I've never met anyone who doesn't like machine guns. It's one of those things where it's hard to not like them. But I'm curious what you don't like about them. And this is no hate. We purely like back over here. So
curious.
I'm just curious what you think. Jay, thought on this just purely from a match standpoint. We'll talk about the fallout in a second.
Yeah, we don't have to say anything because Ingrid said it all out there. Just called him a Grinch. I'm like, oh my god! And I just watched the
I wouldn't touch him with a 64.5-foot pole.
And that's funny. I think it's probably the first time in history you've ever heard the term heel being used in a song. I could be wrong, but I noticed that. I was
like, "You are a heel." The wrestling fan write that song?
No kidding. Was it in that? I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
you really are a heel.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Cocktail hour, brother.
Cocktail hour?
Cocktail hour.
Drinking. All right. So this was a tremendous back and forth. How they were both countering each other's stuff. You really did not know who was gonna, one up the other here because it felt very evenly matched. It was great.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, I always go back to. It's crazy with me. Like I think the first time I ever saw Karl Anderson work a match, because I didn't watch WWE, so I didn't even see that run. Honestly, it was like probably clips here and there online, but just when he came here, it was the first time really seeing him actually consistently work. And the dude's awesome. So if this ever even blends into a solo thing at some point, he can handle it, which is pretty cool.
Mr. G1.
Mr. G1, 2012 G1. God damn it.
Don't forget.
So Anderson does win. There was a bit of a little tight grabbing there. So there was, there's a little bit of a little cheat to let you know who's still the heel here. And it's this slow heel turn that the Good Brothers have been doing, really. So he does grab the tights and he rolls them up, gets the win. Now, after the match is the closing moment of the show. Rich Swann comes out to talk to Anderson, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing, man?" He's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "What's going on?" And the brawl between Anderson and Swann. They're fighting. Gallows comes out. I don't know where Gallows is there. That's what shocked me. Gallows out of nowhere comes in with a big boot, takes out Swann. And so this is like right outside of it's like in a hallway.
Yeah.
So they're brawling. Yeah, it's a big old hallway. They're brawling. So prior to this, now one thing I didn't mention prior to this on the split screen, Kenny says, Champ can do whatever he wants. Champ's gonna go do something. Champ's gonna get up here and do something. Champ can go wherever he wants, and I'm gonna go where I want. So Kenny gets up in the bus, and that's the last you see him kind of walk off screen. At this point, you kind of realize where he's going. So he's setting something up here. So they're brawling out of nowhere. Kenny Omega comes in and starts brawling with the whole thing. They're all fighting. Like the whole thing is just going bananas right here. Guns, Swann, Gallows, Anderson, Omega, all happening right there. And the faces are down. They get them all out. And I guess the former Bullet Club is standing tall. And he's like, they're shit talking. We're going to do what we want to do, blah, blah, blah. And Don Callis says, you know what? I got a great idea. Let's not wait. Let's call this out right now. Let's put this on paper. Hard to kill, main event, the Bullet Club, Gallows, Anderson, and Omega versus Swann, the Motor City Machine Guns. Officially challenged. He goes, because he's like, I'm an executive. I got the power to do shit like this around here. I'm going to call it out right now. What's up, Jeff?
EVP. Oh, it's actually an EVP with an EVP.
So it's
double EVP.
It was
2 E's, 2 B's, and 2 P's. There's some standard math.
Sometimes you got to pay double for that kind of action.
That's true. The thing was now the shot of Callis holding the title, the AEW title, over Swann and just kind of waving it in front of him, going, that's the real champion right there. That's a real championship belt right there. And you're ending it with some heat because it's like you're putting another company over on your last original show of the year. There has to be a fucking receipt tomorrow. You can't just leave it like this.
Yeah, hopefully there will be, because it's time. You gotta, like I said earlier, you gotta go into the holidays. You got a couple shows now where you're doing throwback stuff for the year. You gotta keep the fans talking. This is how you keep them talking, and to get that payoff on the other end of it, it's only proper if AEW does something especially more than what they did last week.
It has to happen. Alicia, like, I don't know. You and I are probably the most, out of our little group here, probably the most like protective of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Critical.
I don't know. Like if I don't see Swan show up tomorrow, I'm gonna be a little off here.
Well, I'll let you guys do all the watching.
Yeah,
and let me know.
Yeah, Jay, you can let us know.
Because I tuned in last week and I wasn't impressed.
Which I think a lot of Impact fans were a little upset about that. You know, they were like, "Well, shit, what happened? We didn't get we didn't get our receipt last week." Now this, like last week was an appearance. This is like you took our champ out. If I'm a viewer, like you're giving me, it's like watching a episodic show. And them telling you, like, hey, you know, you're going to get a bonus episode this week. You don't have to wait till next Tuesday. You can get something today. So we're all going to tune in to see, like, shit, I want a little bit of a payoff. And when you didn't get, sorry, Jim, I'll give me 1 second.
No.
If you didn't get that last week, that will leave a bad taste in your mouth going, like, shit, I didn't get what I thought I'd get last week. So our Impact fans going to give this one a shot tomorrow and see what's going on. All right, Jay, go ahead.
Well, Tony did say in his paid advertisement that Kenny is going to be back on Dynamite Wednesday night.
He is.
And he said, and you can bring Don with you too. So I think that's a little warm up right there. I think we absolutely are going to get something. To what degree, we'll have to wait and see. But I think there is going to be some kind of counter pay, because as much as the two Tonys, especially Tony Khan, may seem like the heel here on the Impact side of things, he also doesn't like what his champ is doing. So it's going to be very interesting to see what exactly happens tomorrow night. And I will be covering all that over on Smash This Podcast. And I've also been informed by a fellow TNI guy next to me, there might be more of a TNI run-in on Smash This Podcast tomorrow night, covering all the big news.
Oh, interesting. Are you doing you doing Bill's news on Smash This Podcast? What's going on here, bro?
Well, no, I'm just saying they're after what we saw tonight. This was all after the Tonys showed up, and I'm like, we're smashing, we're taking them to task tomorrow night. If my boy Coach DeWard doesn't give him a receipt, I'm giving him a receipt on Smash This Podcast.
Shit. Okay, so we got receipts. All right. Well, make sure you have your receipts for that return, guys. That's going to be. So
you thought Bill just representing TNI on the press pass tomorrow was going to be something. Wait till tomorrow night.
Fired up. I like it. I like when Bill's angry. There's a lot of anger behind that smile. A lot of fire behind that smile. But that was it, guys. We went off the air with that. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Alicia's got something.
Go ahead, Alicia.
I just want to say really quick, I'm seeing in the chat that a lot of people are like, oh, I'll give them a pass because last week was taped. It's like every episode is taped. Like, yeah. so like, how do you buffer that one out?
Yes.
It's like a reach.
Yes, absolutely. You brought up a great point, because you could have spliced it in to something. It didn't have to be like, oh, it's taped, we can't do anything. You know, you could splice it in. You could have taped something somewhere. Like Kenny and Don were clearly together. Rich was there too. Like you could have spliced something into their show. That's not. I'm not going with that. I'm not giving that excuse. I'm with you, Alicia.
Yeah, let's just give credit once again to the Impact production team, like Kev Martin and all the others that put this together. Because I don't know. I'm not fake wrestling news, but my educated guess is the Kenny and Don stuff very well was taped separately than the match they were watching, and this was all spliced in, and it looked clean as hell.
That's right,
because that's what the Impact production team does.
That's
down south. Those commercials by Tony and Tony are probably about the best you're going to get out of them.
Whoa.
Oh,
yeah, he shot. Well, you know what, Bill? You gotta. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you a classic shots fired for that one, because that's it's a spicy meatball right there.
That's good meatball.
That's good meatball. I love the good meatball. That's Bill's machine gun of the night. You insult us, we insult you right back. That's how it goes in AEW. Tony Khan, Tony, you want to come on our show? You want to talk all that shit?
Team Sahadi for life.
Team Sahadi for life. God damn it. That's what happens. But anyway, look. But listen, that's it, guys. That's the show. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Next week, let me just mention this real quick. So next week is the awards wrap up for the year. We're planning on starting early, just starting the podcasting early that afternoon to get Bison and Joe on for a little bit. We'll blend it into some watch along. We'll just be on. Like, I'll put this on. People can pop in and out. Now, Bill, strange enough, Bill, you're going to a show next week, aren't you? You're going to a live show next week.
I may be at a live show next Tuesday.
You might be at a live show next Tuesday. So we're gonna keep the thing open. Maybe we'll pop some special guests in and out, some friends popping in and out. So it'll be on. We'll all talk just a little year-end kind of stuff. And then I will announce that we'll figure out there when we'll do like an overnight Twitch stream to raise a couple of bucks for a local charity or for one of the charities or something we're talking about. So I'll put that out there next Tuesday and we'll figure that out. But I think that'll do. Any final thoughts? Did I miss anything, guys? Anything? Should we get our plugs in here? We're under 2 hours, which is great. We're striving really well with this, but well. So that's it, guys. So anybody, final thoughts in the chat? If you guys got anything in the chat you want to just sound off on, but while we're getting our plugs in here, put it in the comments. We'll see if there's any good stuff we want to talk about on the way out.
I'll just say this is how we ended the watch along tonight. Huge show, 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Impacts the buzz of the wrestling universe right now. And let's look at it this way. For all the dirt sheets with the one-offs and stuff, not only was there multiple appearances, including an Impact Plus special like Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, it's not Impact going to their show. The AEW World Champion is main eventing an Impact pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Just let that sink in. That's pretty big news in the wrestling landscape, which hasn't had a ton of big news as of late. So that's huge, and Impact is behind this. So once again, kudos to the man Don, obviously Coach D'Amore, the whole team. They're doing the work of the people right now.
You know, that's a good point, because despite anything that even like some of the AEW like fans who are just hate this partnership for some, I don't know how you can hate this, but they're hating it. Despite all that, it does say something pretty cool. Just the fact that it's happening in general, like just in general, that you're pulling this shit off is fucking wacky enough as it is. And like you said, Kenny's headlining an Impact pay-per-view. You know, it's not the other way around. So he's coming to our house, and it's kind of cool to see them pulling this off. How it executes out, we're going to wait and see. It's still the eye of the consumer. You know, we still want to be happy with what we see. So hopefully it all works out to be nice. But we'll see where it goes, guys. It's all up in the air. But at least one thing is for damn sure. They defied all the it's a one-off deal. Don't expect this to happen after this week. All the dirt sheet bullshit. I cannot believe people still go to these fucking dirt sheets. I really can't. After this last example where it's like, don't get your hopes up, everybody. Literally what they were saying was, don't get your hopes up. It's only going to be one time. Go fuck yourself. It's been 3 already. 3 in a week.
And look at the main event, Hard to Kill.
And you have a pay-per-view announced. So that's it. There's nothing more to say about it. But let's get plugs in here, guys. Let's Alicia, let me start. Ladies, I gotta start going to you first on the plugs. I really gotta start doing ladies first. Go ahead.
It's fine. You can only find me on Instagram under the handle Alicia B Cakey. B as in the letter B.
Cake mix. There you go. Nice. Only on Instagram, guys. Only on Instagram. Cool. Bill, we're gonna get you.
You can find me mainly on Twitter, but also on Instagram at the same name, at William M. Gardner, GARDNER.
Now, Bill, the holidays are coming up. You got PTO, you got to burn. Are we going to get uploads? Are we going to get uploads?
You will get uploads.
All these photos?
I do have time. It's sadly these other times where I had some time, I usually fill up my schedule if I can, even during the pandemic, with wrestling shows or just doing things. I like keeping busy, but I will definitely have some downtime. It sounds like tomorrow Alicia's in the same boat. We might get a great nor'easter coming our way.
No shit.
So
really?
It might be snowed in. I might be like, hey, let me out of here.
How about this? I'm gonna put this out there for everybody. There's still almost 200 people in it. If 10 people follow Bill right now, he will blitz your Instagram timelines with tons of classic photos over the Christmas break.
There you go.
Bill, I'm talking like, don't be that guy. It's like, yeah, I want to post one photo here and there just because,
just blitz them all. Just bring them all out.
I'm saying, put 10 up on a day. Put 10 fucking pictures up today, 12 up tomorrow. Blitz the timeline.
We'll get some classics. We'll go old school.
Old school. I want you to go back to the
We'll get me and Dixie. We'll get a whole
everything.
Bunch.
Start at the beginning. Go dig deep. Get you and like.
I got to go. Me and Hogan. Me, Hogan, Flair, me, Sting.
Get all of it. Get all of it. You and Jeremy Borash. Don West. Who else is in there? Anybody?
I'd have to look. I honestly, I don't know if I have a picture of Borash after all those times.
Put them. He wasn't very nice in person to take pictures. But I noticed he was not very nice in person.
I might though. I have to look. I don't know.
Put all that up there. I want all of it online. Everything. 10 people follow Bill right now. He's gonna blitz your timelines over the holiday.
I will do that. I will do that over the holiday for sure.
William M. Gardner on Instagram. Jaybone, where can they get you?
You can find me over on that other little podcast called Smash. This podcast where we're smashing all things wrestling. Like I said earlier, I'll be covering all the AEW stuff tomorrow night with my compadre Basil. Which I gotta say, I would have put you and Basil over, Trent, because you guys had a hell of an interview over on the Backstage Boys podcast. Please, folks, go check that out. Basil will be with me, and I'm probably gonna get a run-in from a brother Bill over here from TNI fam. And I cover all sorts of other WWE and other wrestling craziness over on Smash This Podcast a few times a week when I'm not doing this crazy show.
He's got a lot of commitment. Jaybone's a busy guy. But guys, you can get me at Trent Zuberi over on Twitter. Also, the Backstage Boys podcast, which I do with Basil, friend of the show, part of the family here. We interviewed. This is interesting. This is a great time for Impact Wrestling fans. We had the editor of PWI Magazine on last night, and we did talk to him about the whole you're not calling Impact a world title and this and that. I put him right on the spot. Bill, I think you were in the chat last night.
I
asked him straight up. I go, what's the deal?
I told you better do it, and you did it. You came through, and I'll give credit. The answer, and it was the best answer I've heard in the past. I don't like speaking ill of previous people, but the guy he replaced, I never liked his answers because they were wishy-washy and they always contradicted themselves. It's not the ratings. It is the ratings. It's not the ratings, but it was. So.
Kevin McElvany, the editor, he gave a really good answer. So if you're interested in why the Impact thing is what it, and he did say, I have a lot to think about based on where we're at today. I got to think about in January. So if this changes, you can thank me.
He gives his Twitter handle. Obviously, there's the PWI Twitter handle.
Yeah.
But let's blow him up, Impact fans. Let's let him know. It's Access TV, this AEW relationship. If now's not the time to recognize the proper Impact TNA lineage, it's the time. It's time.
Yeah. He was very open. I did like that. He's like, I have taken a lot. He even says he's like put that we put the tweet out there more as a statement piece. And he goes, I should have expected it, but man, the Impact fans are really fucking passionate. And I was like, dude, yeah, you can't really get away from people took that hard. Even the Impact roster took that hard,
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of them knew about that when that happened 5 years ago, when they dismissed it, just said it's WWE and nobody else.
Yeah.
So I think most of them didn't even realize they weren't recognizing it until they got a little thing. And that was right in the midst of a partnership with PWI by Impact Wrestling. Tommy Dreamer's wearing this shirt on TV. And I'm like, guys, come on, man.
Yeah. Dude, it was weird. Man. Come on, man. Here, I got it right here.
Come on, man.
But check that out because it's interesting. And I really do think you're going to get some change coming up. It really felt like he's like, yeah, taking a lot into consideration. I got a lot to think about, because of Impact, because he compared with where Impact is, because he even said MLW came at him. They came at him hot too. They're like, wait a minute. What are we getting involved?
Ring of Honor. They all can, and you got to be careful. You got to be careful. You can't give it to everyone, but I think everyone's on the same thing. It's a TV deal. If you're a major U.S. TV promotion, you should be recognized.
Jay is doing the year gimmick. What's going on?
I got something to share here.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Breaking news. But yeah, just if you guys check that out. What do we got here?
Adam was supposed to be on the show tonight, but work interfered with it. But he just put this out here. He said, okay, Impact fans, in the spirit of giving this year, I will be giving away a couple items from the Shop Impact store. All you need to do is retweet, follow me, and comment with hashtag TNI fam. I will select 2 winners on Friday. So go follow Adam Impact. Go give him some love. See if you can win that contest.
There you go, guys. That's the big one. So Adam is giving away merch. So Adam, yeah, he was going to be on to plug that in person tonight, but he couldn't. He got pulled away. He's a frontliner, guys. So he's handling it. It's a busy season for him, literally. So it's tough. But check that out. We'll retweet that right now from our account at We Talk Impact. But do all the stuff he's asking for. But you could win a prize pack of Impact merch.
We're gonna bring him on the throwback to plug that too, because there'll be 24 hours left to do that.
Yes, but also Ingrid does have the code, the Hard to Kill pre-sale code, to get that from her Twitter at Can-Am Ingrid on Twitter. So Ingrid, if you can't put it up one more time, we'll go and get your Twitter account and go pre-order Hard to Kill. But yeah, anyway, guys, so going back, Backstage Boys podcast, Transberry on Twitter. The show is at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just look up Total Nonstop Impact. It comes right up. Also, all audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon. It's on all of them. Rate, review, subscribe. YouTube.com/Total Nonstop Impact. Twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact. ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. Discord, the link's in the description for Discord. Join the private Discord group. Lots of different rooms and topics going on in there. A lot going on, guys. Like I said, it's Thursday night. So Tuesday night's the flagship show. Thursday is TNA Throwbacks. We talk about the Asylum years. We're doing episode number 52 this week, I believe. So 52. We're hitting a year's worth of shows almost. So episode number 52. There's the T-shirt right there. Bill's holding up. So that's on Thursdays. Sunday is the Impact Plus Weekly. We talk Explosion, little open topics. We do about an hour just to check in, close the week out. So that's 3 times a week. And like I said, we're going to have a big old Christmas holiday episode next week with everybody from TNI UK, the UK guys, Bison and Joe. Every Friday do drop an episode of their show called Impacted. Topical talk for the week's news and just kind of subjective buzzing stories, kind of a view from across the pond type of thing. So they do that.
Can't wait to hear their opinion on all this.
Yeah, they should be recording tomorrow night, and they'll be ready to go for Friday. So check that out. Previous episodes are on the YouTube channel and the audio feed, and as well as some interviews. At least the latest one, I should say, is ODB's interview with Bison. So check that out, guys. Anything else? Miss anything, guys? Am I good?
Oh, just can't wait to see how this all unfolds between now and the new year.
That's it. All right. Yep. It's going to be a busy few weeks. It's going to be a very interesting few weeks, but definitely, guys, sound off. Give your opinions on our show, Impact. Tag everybody you want to tag. Like, be vocal. As you see, the management involved in all this is very receptive online, especially Scott. I cannot emphasize this enough. Scott D'Amore is very active in talking to the fans and engaging and seeing what you're putting out there. He's plugged us a bunch. So we appreciate that from Scott.
He did videos for most of the people here that bought Bound for Glory.
That's the crazy thing. Like, if you bought Bound for Glory, he did personalized videos for people. Like, that's how involved he is. So use that.
Tony Khan doing that.
Exactly. He definitely does not. But all right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. We thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you Thursday for the throwback show. So everybody have a safe week. Get through the week because next week's the holiday. So relax. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night, everybody.
Hey, Impact Wrestling. It's great to be here tonight.
I was not ending with that, but okay.